Good morning. Well, I'm cleaning my freezer, my meat freezer. I'm not done. I'll show you that shortly. But let me show you. I took the meat that I'm going to cook and I put in the sink. Those are the jars that came from one of the two freezers that I have cleaned yesterday with my husband. Those ice cream buckets were full of ice cream, and in fact we have 5 of them, and they went in the trash. So those are glass jars as well that came from the freezer. And yeah, let's see the fridge. I cleaned the fridge yesterday. And that's well clean. It took a while though. I took the shelves, I cleaned them with soapy water, water with vinegar, and took the crispers out. I had to take the glass top out as well and wash them all the way down, clean them all. All the way. And I move it, clean behind. Behind was so dusty. We purchased it September 2014. Yeah, it was really dirty behind, dusty. And a lot of toys, a lot of kids' crayons underneath it. I had to clean all that, and that's the freezer side of it. So clean all of that. With soap. It's just here the ice area that I didn't do anything to. It was empty. So now we have some ice. I couldn't take those out, so I just washed them up here. But I was able to take those out, this out, and wash them all in the tub. And clean them all. So everything here just went in the trash. Nothing. I don't know if my parents saved something, because they try to use a very much large portion of the freezer. But that's our fridge. Clean. In and out. The top was a lot harder for me to clean. Then clean underneath it. And let's go in the basement to check what we have there. So this area is where we usually have 2 of the freezers that we cleaned yesterday. So by the dryer here. So I cleaned the floor. The floor was dirty, probably a little bit moldy. That's the way I would call it. So I cleaned the floor there, and we might probably move them back here later. Let me turn this off here. And for now, I moved them here. And this is, I like to call it medium, but I think it's smaller than the meat freezer. It was like easier for me to reach the bottom of it yesterday when I was cleaning it up. So well washed, clean. And what I'm pretty much using is water and our light soap that we sell on our website, ninassoap.com, and that's olive oil soap. And I'm using one of my husband's old socks, and this one I plug it somewhere there, and I pour the meats. that are frozen, that are still frozen. I put them here to keep them frozen. And that's the vegetable freezer. It's a small freezer, and it was easy for me to clean. The most difficult one to clean is this one. It's kind of taller and harder to clean. So I feel like it's not long like the other freezer, but it's deeper than the other freezer. So, and probably wider too. So it's wider, deeper, but not longer. And this one is Whirlpool. I think this one is the little one that I use for vegetables is GE, and this one is GE as well. And this one is not wide, but I think it's long and it's not deep. It was easy for me to reach the bottom, but the other one is hard to reach the bottom. So I don't, if you'll go with a chest freezer, which prove that it kept things frozen longer than the standard freezer, because my freezer side of the fridge door, everything was pretty much rotten there when we took them out, depending on what they are. But here I was able to salvage a lot of my meat. So the chest freezer might keep things frozen longer, but it's better to buy a small, by preference the one with lights or somewhat medium, but a larger freezer will be hard to clean. This one, I'm 5'8", but it's kind of hard for me to dip the bottom. 5'8" or 5'10", it's hard for me to touch the bottom easily. So pretty much with the soap, I'll just wash it down. I wash it twice. Now I'm going to just rinse it. And I just use all socks of my husband, clean socks with hole, and pretty much wiping the soap off. And I'm not squeezing all the water out of the socks. And I didn't hose it or anything. It is heavy. I won't be able to handle it myself to empty it. So what I will do is, when I have, like, I will rinse inside with water, but then I'll just soak the water and squeeze it back here until I get it all out, and I will dump it out in the sink and wash things and start over. So I wash it twice, and I'm going to rinse it twice. And when I'm done, I will move it around, check the floor, and clean the floor underneath it, and it won't be that close to the wall. And we'll move the meat back here. Might probably soap the little freezer where the meats are, wipe it off quickly, because there is a freezer that I use for vegetables. I don't like to have raw meat since everything's in it. So that's pretty much how I'm going to be rinsing it, and rinse it all down until I'm done with it. Soak the water out, repeat it again, and using a towel might work well, but since I was dealing with soap, with blood from meat, I prefer to use something that I won't splatter blood on things here in the basement. So that's pretty much what I'm going to do. And then I'll soap this and pretty much wash outside of it as well, and wipe it off with water. wipe the floor and mop it, and it will be pretty much done. So those are my freezers and my fridge that I have to clean up after a storm and almost 1 week, I'll say 6 days without electricity. Use wood clay stove to cook dinner outside. We have heat for hot water, so we have a hot shower, but we didn't have any electricity. We use flashlight, and I took note of, this period, what I should have on hand next time, what I should have, on hand for situation like this. My husband thinks a generator is a good idea. I mean, if you want to say, that's fine. I still don't think I will be a need for me. But having flashlight, having battery for flashlights is good. And cooking early so that you can go to bed before it's dark is a good idea. It was very hot, like in the 80s, during the day and at night, and some nights could be cooler. But yeah, and some snacks, shelves, stable snacks are good ideas as well. And probably when I gather all my learning experience from this, I can have a video and talk about it, or have it on my blog, ninasoap.com. Thank you so much for watching. And if you want to get our soap or any of our natural products, we have them at ninasoap.com, our natural products website. And we have our blog, ninasoap.com, and we have our custom design apparel at liberlabel.com. So I'm just going to rinse the bottom well and see how it's soaked. I'll just squeeze the bar out here, and I'm trying not to use a lot of water so that I can soak it. I can do that, and that's pretty much what I'm going to do here until I'm done. Thank you so much for watching, and stay safe. For anyone without power due to storm, yeah, well, I wish them to be able to get their power back soon. Thank you.